Hey y'all, it's Zooks, and this is Let's Play Satisfactory, where everything is made up and the slugs don't matter. That's right, the slugs are like the edges of a Pop-Tart. Yeah, I'm here for the good stuff, not that cardboard on the edges. Welcome back, all you fappers, to the FICSIT Apprenticeship Program. Last episode, we did some work on the permanent structure of the starter base, and this episode will be more of the same. I want to do a quick sort of drive-by of what we managed to accomplish in the last episode. We have started laying down foundations. You'll look and see a sloppy mess of foundations as I try to figure out where I want production to go. But you'll see first we managed to get a smelter array up and running. Very nice. I say it's up and running. It's up. It's not running. I'm not ready to commit to the power requirements that this setup's going to require. So we're not going to turn it on just yet. And up here we got a bunch of constructors and stuff splitting out. Screws, iron rods, iron plates, and they will be accumulated and sent over to our assemblers, which is something I hope to get done this episode. So, yeah. This looks like a big old mess. I'm trying to explain some things. I'm gonna cut away from y'all for a while and get a bunch of this work done and get back and touch base with you in a little bit. So stay tuned. Bye-bye. Hey y'all, this is Editing Zooks here. And I just wanted to show you this cool clip. I thought it was pretty neat. I find another lizard doggo because the last one got lost in the woods somewhere. And I wanted to show you me watching him follow me all the way to my base. It looks pretty funny. His little ear tails flopping around the entire time. It's fantastic. So I just wanted to share that with you because I thought it was cool. That's it. All right, it's Editing Zooks back at it again. And I just wanted to share my MAM research and let y'all know where I'm at with the research progression. And I'm currently working my way a little bit ways through the Criterion progression. And I managed to get to AI limiters. AI limiters are really important. Excuse me. They are used as a key component in smart splitters, which can pick individual items out of lines of conveyor belts and sort them, which is huge for late game stuff especially. And even further along in the base build, I'm definitely going to be using that. But I wanted to show you that progression getting handled right here. So, oh yeah, and we just unlocked Blade Runners. Look at that. I love these Blade Runners. They are super important. It's going to be the first time we use one of our body slots. So here we go.
Shoes guaranteed to make a kid run faster and jump higher. PF Flyers.
The PF Flyers. Look at us go. What do you think, dog? I am moving. You can't even keep up with me. I am so fast. All right, and we're back at the MAM. What did we unlock? That was, oh yeah, we got our Mark II power pole. Has 7 lines that could be attached to it. And here we're finally getting the smart splitter. It'll take 5 minutes. Not for you. For me, it did. And I just unlocked it there. I'm not going to show it or anything, obviously, because I'm in post right now. And I can't do anything about what I did in the past in this recording. What else did we do here? We did fabric. This mycelia tree is just a teensy bit underwhelming. You do get parachutes, which are pretty cool. And you learn new ways to make medicinal inhalers, which are huge for, obviously your health. But it's not super big. I mean, the parachutes aren't super handy because you're really not going to use them a lot, in my opinion. What else we got here? Expanded body belt. Took 1,000 wire to do, but we did it anyway. Tool belt. I believe tool belt adds an extra hand slot. So now we can hold 3 things in our hands.
Tool belt has been extended.
I don't really know how we accomplish that, but we do. Oh yeah, it's a tool belt. That's how you accomplish it, duh. And it looks like we can build a rebar gun. All we need is some screws. But I don't like the rebar gun that much. Hint, hint, I'm not a big fan. But we'll probably build it later and I'll show it off a little bit. And I can probably do that. Oh, and I just wanted to show you. Oh, that's right, he gave me a purple slug. He is such a good boy. But I want to show you, I had to tame them again because they only love you while you're alive, it turns out. As soon as you die and your soul leaves your body, their love lingers with that soul. And then you must earn its love once again. I'm bringing you back in because we have been furiously working away on the starter base, and we have reached the point where we can start our iron production. Hold on, let me adjust my mic here. And I wanted y'all to be here for this glorious occasion. And all I have to do is hook up these belts, if I can. Okay. All right. And all I really did down here, we've been kind of doing some pescetti, as you can see, but I'm redirecting all our miners from these initial production facilities to our new factory setup. And we will follow the ore on its journey from birth to smart plate. This took a long time. Honestly, the longest part of this was trying to accumulate enough reinforced plates for these Mark II belts. That took a bit. I had to add one more assembler for reinforced plates, so it was taking a long, long time. All right, right here is where our ore goes from ground to Canyon Sky Factory. We gotta come up with a name for this. It is the starter base, but it's like hanging the web base. I don't know. And it travels up these lifts. And we will go up there with it. I'm really crossing my fingers that my power grid holds up too. Because I've also added a ton of biomass burners to accommodate for the increased load of machines that we're going to have here. Alright, so the iron ore first gets loaded up and sent into our smelter arrays. Again, each line is 120 iron ore, and this first line gets processed first. It gets load balanced into these smelters, which all smelt iron ingots. So we'll watch this happen for a sec. Here we go, our first smelter coming on. This is the first iron ingot. Look at that. And then these iron ingots come out of these smelters and feed back up into this belt and back onto another 120 belt where I guess it goes on top of the other ore, and we do this sort of like, I don't even know what you call this. It just like builds on itself. And so we got more iron ingots. Here we go. Fantastic. It is looking fantastic. Okay. So let's wait a sec. I'm gonna wait right here. Come on. All right. So these belts should end up being completely fully saturated because there is exactly 120 items being produced out of those smelters. So it's looking good so far. Now we're going to get into our production lines where these lines split. Half of our ingot supply gets sent to iron plates and half gets sent to iron rods and screws. So we'll watch this for a sec. Look at all that glorious iron ingots. I gotta actually want to check my power. Okay, producing a good bit. Like I said, I was throwing down a ton of biomass burners, and I've been deforesting a section of the map, so I have enough resources for all this mess. Or, I'm sorry, enough power. Doesn't it just look... I love this part of the game, where you're just watching your product lines work. All right, let's look here. These iron ingots are set into these 6 constructors are making iron plates, and these iron plates are going to get sent, I think it's 90, get sent through to reinforced plate production, and the rest get sent to storage, which I haven't completely set up yet, so we've just sort of temporarily put down a container to accumulate iron plates. And then these iron rods, they produce iron rods and they get sent through this spaghetti mess of load balancing. Let me show y'all. I made a lookout tower just so we can admire the Pescetti. And so we got iron rods being load balanced into screws. There's some iron rods over here that don't get load balanced, and they end up getting sent through for final production to modular frames and rotors. And the screws get sent up for reinforced plates and rotors as well. Let's see if we got anything coming in on our belts here. We have nothing yet. I still have some trees clipping up into the base, but that's totally fine for now. I see some iron plates coming in. Look at this, we're getting screws. Oh, it is getting started for sure. Look at that. That is a 120 belt, as you can tell. At least I thought it was. Yeah, it's a Mark II belt because technically there's 90 plates a minute going to run that thing, so we need to have the throughput. As well as these 2 lines right here. Why am I not getting anything on these 2 lines yet? I am worried. We're having an issue. This is not working. Hey. All right, this is part of the process, everybody. This is what happens. You make a base, and it turns out something is messed up. So, our rotors are going to be a little bit slow, but that's okay. Let's get up here. We kind of missed this first sort of... This is where the Pescetti really starts. This is not super well done. In the future, I want this to be clean of belts, and I want to have stuff fed in from beneath the foundations here. But for now, we are going to live with this because I wanted to have glass foundations, and we just don't have that available to us yet. All right, so we got these iron plates. Like I said, that's a 90 belt. It goes into this splitter, and it splits 3 ways into these reinforced plates. Now we're just waiting on screws to come in as well. We should be... I want to make sure everything seems to be flowing okay. Like I said, I noticed that the screws weren't flowing in on these 2 lines, and they definitely should have been, which was a red flag immediately that we had something backing up. Let's make sure that I didn't mess something else up. Okay, here we go. Look at this. Like clockwork. We were totally spot on. Let's go back up here. So honestly, everything else should be working totally fine, but let's see. The screws are finally coming in for the reinforced plates. I think reinforced plates are going to be the first thing that start pumping away. There we go. Rotors are going to take a sec. That'll be fine. The good thing about load balancing, though, is that everything's going to start working almost immediately. We don't have to wait on lines to saturate like you would have to wait with a manifold build. All right. Now, the reinforced plates are going to work. These rods are making it over here to modular frames. We have not automated any or built any modular frames yet, in assemblers at least. Oh, excuse me. So right now, let's look at this recipe. It takes 3 reinforced iron plates and 12 rods. Now, right here, I'm going to show you the difference of load balancing and manifolds. As you see here, we have all these belts for reinforced plates. It's 5 reinforced plates a minute, and they all get merged onto one belt. That's 15 iron plate or reinforced iron plates. These machines take 3. And unfortunately, that's not an easy division to make with these splitters. So we have opted here to use a manifold process. So what happens is it comes here, it hits the splitter, 50% gets sent here to this one, and 50% gets sent here. And then here, 25% gets sent here, and then 25 gets sent through along this line. Now on this line, these reinforced plates are also used for smart plating at 2 a minute. So as you can see, we'll be these first in a manifold. The first machines on the manifold get saturated first, and it seems like it's running inefficiently until you fully saturated the line, and you'll notice that it works at 100% efficiency as it should. But until then, it looks a little bit messy. We'll do that manifolds mostly, but so these smart platings are going to be used for the space elevator. Oh, we got our screws in. All right. These rotors take a ton of screws. 100 screws a minute for each rotor machine, which is why we have 2 120 belts coming up here. So let's look into our storage. I have the storage set up here for these items. Have nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. What about our smart plates? I don't think we've made one smart plate yet. We are still waiting. Good thing about the rotors, though, is that they do not need to be split at all. They go straight into these smart plates. They don't have to do this shenanigans that the reinforced plates have to do. Did we make any modular frames yet? I would have swore that we made some of these already. Still waiting on reinforced plates. Huh. Let's see. There we go. Some of these lifts, they can be a little bit finicky if you're not careful. Yeah, this one's doing it too. I think it has to do with... There we go. You got to be careful of these lifts. And after you make one of these sort of production lines, you have... you're going to do... You need to do what I'm doing, and that's going to each of these machines and making sure they're receiving parts that they need. This one's still not got a reinforced plate. Let's see. Looks like... Is this another lift problem? It seems to be the case. Let's change the lift here. Alright, let's see if this is going to start pulling down reinforced plates. Come on! There we go. What about you? There we go. Alright, perfect. Why are... No power. Oh, did I delete a power line? I should have known better. Where were you getting power from, my dude? It was here, but like, oh, maybe I do this. There we go. Sorry about that. Thought I had deleted something there. Okay, cool. We're all good. Still good. Producing. We are producing everything great so far. Everything is green. You want to see a ton of green lights. Do we have stuff here? Modular frames, rotors, reinforced plates. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. I wanted to bring you back for this. Where did I not make the smart plate? Come on. These things take forever. 30 seconds to make one. But everything's working correctly. Let me go back down here and we're going to do one more spot check of all our buildings down here. I don't want to see any yellow lights. And if I see a yellow light, I better see it turn green right away. Got 2 yellows on that side. I see backing up over here. Something's wrong. I missed it. See that? All right. Gotta keep my head on swivel on this one. Perfect. Okay. It's a little bit backed up, but we're gonna be all right there. Look at all these ingots. Ah, okay. This is where we just get to just ogle at how beautiful this game is. Fantastic. I'm glad I brought you back. I'm gonna take one more look. I gotta show you a couple more things, and then we'll finish off this episode. I have a copper production getting started, and I have decided on a place to centralize our base structure. So I'll bring you back in a second. All right. This is what's going to be our central factory area. This, if you might notice this, actually you might not, it's that big lake. The big lake with the drop pod in it. I just put a big old concrete slab on top of it. This will all be changed to glass eventually. But I'm gonna start slowly moving some stuff over here. I've already moved our biomass production over here. I have a ton because I have been deforesting over there a lot, so I have a ton of biomass. And over here, I'm putting through, I've added a bunch of these, and I'm probably about to add more, because we are getting up here. And it's going to start chewing through this stuff. One thing I didn't really tell y'all is that one thing that you can do to hedge against having to come over here and make a ton of, and keep refilling these biomass burners, is you just make a bunch more than you need, and you don't have to fill them up as often because they don't burn fuel at the same rate. They'll burn fuel to the rate at which items are being produced, right? So if you have a ton of biomass burners on a system, what'll happen is they'll only burn fuel at whatever rate they need to burn fuel to meet the production demands. We've already gone over that a little bit, but in this bigger scale, it's super helpful because you basically don't have to come over here and do what I'm doing right this second. You go through, you add, I'm probably gonna add an entirely separate line of these. And that way I don't have to come and babysit this area so much. It'll still burn, obviously, the same amount of biofuel, right? It's just going to do it slower as a whole, like from a time perspective. But I wanted to show you this. This is where I'm going to start moving the hub over here. I'm going to move other little things over here. And this is going to be the new sort of base of operations for our operations here for the FICSIT Apprenticeship Program. So next, I'm going to show you, y'all just come with me for a sec. You'll see a bunch of spaghetti concrete. This is me sort of getting a feel for the area, trying to find the best place to lay down foundations and figure out where I want to set up production lines in these, because it's kind of difficult to figure out the best lay of the land here. So over here, we have our copper production ready to go. I have to hook it up to power, and I gotta hook up our lines for the inputs for the copper ore. So it's getting ready to go. I really like this area. It's super enclosed. There's also like I love this. I'm gonna do a walkthrough when I feel like this is in a more complete state, and show you some of the cool geography we're working with here. But for the moment, we don't have too much. We have our like the biomass burners. They have this little cave area almost. It's great. I'll be showing you more of that later. But for now, that's really all that we really wanted to get through this episode. I got through our next set of copper production. I'm sorry, not copper. We've completely started our iron production in the starter base. We are making a ton of goods. Specifically, we're finally making smart plating, which is something we're going to need for the space elevator, which we'll go over maybe not next episode, but definitely soon. We will be taking a look at smart plating and the space elevator. And we also got our copper line in. Not totally functional at the moment, but it's in at least, and we can get that pumping in a sec. And we also laid down our central area. We'll put our storage there. We'll put some sinks there. We're gonna have some stuff there. And that's it for this episode. Let me make sure I've done everything I'm supposed to do. Yeah, that's it. Next episode, we're still going to be working on the base. It's not quite done yet. And I wanted to give you a heads up too that this isn't totally finalized. Like, for example, I don't like this concrete. I mean, I like the concrete, but this isn't the vision I had for this base. It was to have glass foundations. So there's definitely going to be a rework for this area. And it'll probably happen later. Whenever I can unlock some of the stuff I wanted for the visuals, we're gonna. I have this stuff up here sort of to show you how it all works, and it's important for you to understand how the splitting and load balancing works and what all this stuff means. Because when we do the revision, a final version of what the starter base is going to be, I'm going to try to do a thing where I tuck the stuff under the foundations and have it running underneath the factory floor. So hopefully that'll be way cooler than what's happening here, even though this does look really cool. And let me know what you think. I've been jumping around this episode. This is a lot of work to get this stuff down. And I get the feeling y'all don't want to just sit here and listen to me go on while I'm chopping trees to get biofuel and putting down foundations and stuff like that. I don't expect that's something y'all want to be listening to. And so I've basically been doing that with no mic, and it'll be uploaded with the long play footage, but I'm not including that in the Let's Play so much. Let me know what you think of that. And that's it. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. It all helps and is appreciated. And well, that's it. It's over. Yeah.